When was the last time you looked at yourself in the mirror and asked a simple, terrifying question? Am I truly living the life I want? Not the life others expect from me. Not the life that looks right in the eyes of society, but the one that genuinely resonates with my soul. Carl Jung, one of the most profound thinkers in modern psychology, left us with a lesson that few dare to follow: the importance of choosing yourself, even when everything around you seems to push you in the opposite direction. We live in a world meticulously designed to distract you, to keep you trapped in routines, expectations, and an endless stream of obligations that seem unavoidable. From the moment you wake up, you are bombarded with external demands: work, family, responsibilities, social norms, all dictating how you should behave, what you should strive for, even what success is supposed to look like. But here is a truth most people refuse to acknowledge. Every time you prioritize others over yourself, you are sending a silent message to your inner self that it does not matter, that its needs, its desires, its truths are secondary. You are ignoring the quiet voice from deep within your unconscious, the one that keeps trying, patiently, to guide you toward a more authentic and fulfilling life. Jung believed that our connection with the unconscious is not optional. It is an essential part of who we are. And yet so many people silence it, push it aside, choose to ignore its signals because facing them can be uncomfortable. That feeling of unease you experience when something in your life does not feel right. It is not random. That is your soul speaking to you, trying to show you that something needs to change, even if the mere thought of change terrifies you. Take a moment. Reflect. How many of the decisions you have made recently came from a place of true authenticity? And how many were driven by fear? Fear of disappointing others, fear of stepping outside the norm, fear of discomfort, fear of breaking away from what is familiar. Jung urges us to contemplate this deeply because he understood a universal truth. Decisions that are not rooted in your inner truth create nothing but chaos and disconnection. The further you stray from yourself, the more lost you will feel. But let us clarify something important. Choosing yourself does not mean rejecting others. This is not about living in selfishness or disregarding the people around you. It is about recognizing that in order to give the best version of yourself to the world, you must first be at peace with yourself. This is the foundation of self-love, a concept Jung explored in depth. Self-love is not a luxury. It is not an excuse to escape responsibility. It is the ground upon which all meaningful and authentic relationships are built. When you choose to prioritize yourself, something profound shifts in your energy. You begin to attract people and situations aligned with your true essence. It is as if the universe responds to your decision to live in truth, eliminating what no longer serves you and bringing forth what you actually need in order to grow. But to reach this state, you must first confront your shadows, the parts of yourself you have ignored, suppressed, feared. Jung described the shadow as the hidden aspect of our psyche, the place that holds everything we would rather not acknowledge about ourselves: our anger, our envy, our weakness, our desire, the instincts we were taught to bury, the traits we hide even from the people who love us most. Facing your shadow can be uncomfortable, at times painful, but it is within this confrontation that true transformation begins. Because when you integrate your shadow, when you stop fighting against it and learn to accept it, you unlock an inner power you never imagined you had. This process of integration does not happen overnight. It requires courage, patience, an unwavering commitment to understanding yourself. But what you gain in return is invaluable: clarity, the ability to see beyond the illusions you once believed in, purpose, a renewed sense of direction and meaning, inner peace, a calm so profound that no external chaos can shake it, the ability to say no to what does not align with you without guilt, without fear, without worrying about the judgment of others. And most importantly, the freedom to be exactly who you truly are. You might be wondering, how do I begin this journey? The answer is far simpler than you think. Start by listening. Every time you feel discomfort, uncertainty, or a surge of emotion, pause. Ask yourself, what is my unconscious trying to tell me? Because the answers you seek externally are already within you. You only need the courage to listen and the determination to act. One of the hardest things we do in life is listen to our intuition. especially when it leads us down a path that challenges everything we have built. Maybe it is a relationship you know is no longer working. Maybe it is a job that drains you but feels impossible to leave. Maybe it is a dream you have been chasing simply because it seemed like the right thing to do. Jung reminds us that ignoring these signals is not strength. It is a denial of our true essence. To choose yourself is to have the courage to let go of what no longer resonates with you. And that is not always easy. We cling to the familiar because change is terrifying. We convince ourselves that it is better to stay with the devil we know than the one we do not. But Jung challenges us to see change not as an ending, but as a doorway, a passage, a threshold into a more authentic version of ourselves. So think about this. What are you holding on to that no longer serves you? What relationships, beliefs, or habits are you maintaining out of fear? You may feel that letting go of certain people or situations would be a loss. But the real loss happens when you sacrifice your inner peace just to hold onto something that no longer has meaning. The choice is always yours. And perhaps the most important question you can ask yourself right now is simply this: am I ready to truly choose myself? Choosing yourself is not an act of selfishness. It is an act of profound love and deep respect for who you truly are. For too long, society has conditioned us to believe that prioritizing ourselves is wrong, that putting our needs first is somehow a betrayal of the people around us. But the reality is exactly the opposite. When you finally make the conscious decision to choose yourself, something truly magical begins to unfold. It is as if a fog that had been clouding your vision starts to lift. And for the first time in a long time, you see things with clarity. The people who genuinely support you remain by your side. Those who only drained your energy, who never truly valued you, begin to fade away. And this is no coincidence. It is the direct reflection of an internal transformation, an alignment between your inner world and your external reality. Jung called this synchronicity, the mysterious, undeniable connection between your thoughts, your emotions, and the circumstances that unfold in your life. When you begin to live in alignment with your truth, your external world shifts to mirror that transformation. It is as if reality itself responds to your authenticity, reshaping your environment to match the person you are becoming. However, this process requires something many people find difficult: radical honesty with yourself. Choosing yourself is not only about bold decisions or firm boundaries. Sometimes it means acknowledging uncomfortable truths about your past. Perhaps you have made choices that were not a real reflection of who you are. Perhaps you have allowed people to overstep your boundaries, sacrificing your well-being to please them. Perhaps you have said yes to things you knew you should have rejected, out of fear of disappointing others. But here is the important part. This is not a reason to judge yourself. It is an invitation to learn, to recalibrate, to make a different choice moving forward. Jung believed that authenticity is not a destination. It is a continuous journey, a process of learning, evolving, and growing into the truest version of yourself. And on this path, you will face resistance. There will be moments when you doubt yourself, when old habits call you back, when familiar patterns tempt you simply because they feel comfortable. But remember this: true growth never happens within your comfort zone. The most profound transformations occur when you dare to step beyond the familiar into the unknown. The world will not always understand your decision to choose yourself. Some people will criticize you. Some will question your choices. Some may even distance themselves from you because you no longer fit their expectations. And yes, this can be painful, but when you choose yourself, you stop seeking external validation. You begin to realize that your worth is not defined by what others think of you, but by what you believe about yourself. This does not mean you must isolate yourself or disconnect from those around you. Quite the opposite. When you choose yourself, your relationships evolve in ways you never imagined. You stop chasing approval. You start seeking genuine connection. You no longer settle for shallow interactions. You crave relationships that nourish your soul. And in this process, you discover something beautiful. The right people will always be there. Not because they need you, but because they value you exactly as you are. Not everyone will support your choice to prioritize yourself. We live in a world that glorifies sacrifice, where giving everything to others, even at the cost of our own well-being, is celebrated as noble. But what happens when we pour from an empty cup? What happens when we give so much that we lose ourselves entirely? Jung taught us something profoundly important. We cannot give what we do not possess. If you sacrifice your happiness, your energy, or your inner peace trying to please others, what you are offering is not authentic. And sooner or later, that imbalance will manifest through exhaustion, through dissatisfaction, through a quiet, creeping emptiness that no external achievement can fill. Take a moment to reflect on your current relationships. How many of them inspire you, uplift you, bring you peace? And how many leave you feeling drained, confused, emotionally depleted? Jung invites us to consider this because our relationships are not merely social connections. They are mirrors, reflections of our internal state. The people we keep close are reflections of the beliefs, values, and patterns that live within us. If you find yourself allowing someone to repeatedly cross your boundaries, it is not necessarily because they are bad. It is because a part of you has not yet learned how to protect itself. Setting boundaries is not an act of selfishness, it is an act of self-love. Jung believed that the unconscious is constantly working to guide us toward our well-being, but more often than not, we ignore its signals. That exhaustion you feel after certain interactions, it is not a coincidence. It is your unconscious telling you that the relationship is not in alignment with your essence. And if you keep ignoring these signals, the price you will always pay is your inner peace. Choosing yourself means setting boundaries, not as walls that shut people out, but as bridges leading to healthier, more authentic relationships. When you say no to what does not serve you, you are simultaneously saying yes to your truth, your dreams, your well-being. As you begin to live from this place of authenticity, something extraordinary happens. Your intuition strengthens. That inner voice which once seemed faint, uncertain, begins to guide you with clarity. You start making choices that not only make logical sense, but feel right deep within your soul. This is the power of choosing yourself. It reconnects you with your intuition, with that inner compass that has always been there, waiting for you to trust it. Jung described intuition as one of the purest forms of connection with the unconscious. It is that inexplicable knowing, that feeling in your gut when something either feels right or does not. But to truly hear it, you must silence the noise of the outside world. Let go of the need for approval. Detach from societal expectations. Learn to trust yourself, because at the end of the day, no one else can truly know what is best for you. When you decide to choose yourself, you are sending a powerful message to the universe. I am ready to live in alignment with my truth. And the universe responds. Suddenly you begin to attract people, opportunities, and experiences that resonate with who you truly are. This does not mean life will be free of challenges, but those challenges will no longer feel like an endless struggle. They will become stepping stones. Opportunities for growth, for transformation, for self-discovery. By choosing to live in authenticity, you begin to experience what Jung called synchronicity in its fullest form. Those seemingly random yet perfectly timed events that unfold in your life are not coincidences. They are direct reflections of your inner alignment. When you are in harmony with yourself, the external world starts aligning with you as well. Doors open effortlessly. The right people appear at exactly the right moment. Everything begins to flow in ways that once seemed impossible. This is the beauty of embracing your true self. When you honor your inner world, the external world responds in kind. And in that space of deep alignment, you will find not only fulfillment, but a profound sense of peace. The kind that comes from knowing you are exactly where you are meant to be. The greatest gift you can give yourself is to be unapologetically you, not the version others expect. Not the one you created just to fit in, but your purest essence. The real you, that exists when no one else is watching. Jung once revealed that the true work of life does not lie in searching outside of ourselves. It lies in unraveling the deep mysteries that reside within. And when you finally make the conscious choice to embrace yourself, you come to a profound realization. Everything you have been searching for has always been within you. This is your call to action. Life is far too short to remain trapped in the need for external validation. Too short to ignore your own desires. Too short to silence your dreams in order to meet the expectations of others. The time to take the first step is now. The time to confront your fears, acknowledge your shadows, and listen to the quiet whispers of your intuition is today. The moment to reconnect with your true self is right in front of you. Because when you choose yourself, you do more than transform your own life. You change the world around you. Your energy shifts. Your perspective expands. Your very presence begins to inspire everyone who crosses your path. So ask yourself, which aspects of my life are truly aligned with my authentic self? What can I let go of in order to live with greater honesty? What is holding me back from becoming the person I was always meant to be? Every small step matters. Every choice you make in favor of your true self is a victory, and you are not alone on this journey. This space exists to remind you of your infinite potential, to walk with you as you walk toward yourself. If this message has reached you, let it go further. Share it with someone who needs it, someone who is searching for answers, someone who is facing their own quiet battle, someone who might need this exact moment of clarity. Tell me in the comments which part of this message spoke to your heart. What step are you ready to take today to choose yourself? Every word you share matters, not only to me, but to everyone walking this same path. And if you have not already, subscribe and turn on notifications so no message like this passes you by. Together, we can carry this reflection into every corner of the world, to every person who needs to remember that the greatest power of all lies in the simple, profound act of choosing to be who you truly are. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. But above all, thank you for being part of this awakening. Never forget, you are not alone. Change begins with you, and the world desperately needs more people with the courage to embrace their authentic selves. I will see you in the next reflection. And always remember, life truly begins the moment you decide to choose yourself.